So let's create for our small door. Okay, let's create our entrance door first. You can just copy this CO. Instead of us recreating it again, let's just copy this. Let's just copy this. For our entrance door now is 1, 2, which is a big door and a small door. A big door of 900 millimeters and a small door of 300 millimeters. So now what we just need to create now is create a small door here of 300 millimeters. So let's do that again. Let's pick our rectangle tool and let's create this 50, comma 300 this time around now. So we are having this, right? And now just the same process, our line, let's bring it here and then we'll mirror it back. So this is 300, enter. So now let's pick our start center end tool again, start, center, and then end. So this is our small door. So what we just need to do is to mirror it to be facing this side now. So for us to mirror, let's pick the mirror tool, which is this, and then let's just select our point and mirror it. Yes, I want to erase the first object, the source object. So now we just select this and then move it from this point to this point. So this is our 1, 2 door, the big door and the small door. This is our entrance door and this is our internal door. So now let's just create our toilet door, which is 750. Just the same process. Go again, 50 and then 750. So now we just need to draw our line. 750, enter, escape, then start center end arc, then we'll draw our arc. If you can notice, so let's erase this. This is our door. So this is our toilet door, our internal doors, and our entrance door. If you can notice, I'm trying to do the mixture of selecting the tools and using my keyboard command, the shortcut command. So at least as we are trying, you'll be learning, as we are progressing, we'll be learning some of the shortcut command also. That's why I'm just doing it that way. So I don't want to use rely only on this. So by the time you learn how to use your shortcut command and everything, it makes your work faster and easier for you. Just place your right hand on the mouse and your left hand will be on the keyboard, give you the commands, and then just use your mouse to implement the commands. That's just it. So now that we've drawn our doors like this, we can go ahead and create it as a block, as a component. Apart from AutoCAD component itself, we can also create our own component. So we need to create it as, though it's not compulsory, but we can try to create it as our own component, in which once we need it in another drawing, you just need to go and copy it from where you've done it and then paste it there. And for us to do that, then we'll come here and create block. So now this insert block indicates any block you've created. If you need it, then I just come here and just select it and use it. So now let's go ahead and create our block. Create block. Now let's name it. Let's give it the name as let's start with our entrance door. Entrance door, right? And then pick point. Let's just pick a point. Let's just pick this point, and then select object. Let's select the object, which is this, right? And enter. Now once we've done that, then okay. Now we should come here. You see that it has shown a drop down arrow indicating there is a block that has been created. Now look at it. This is our entrance door. So now once we want to select it, to select everything as a whole block now, not individually. This is an object, this is another object. But once you've created it as a block, it will select everything as a whole. So you just need to select it and move it to where you want to use it. Now this also, let's do this also. Let's create block. Let's name it as internal door. Let's pick our point. Then specify objects. Enter. And then okay. So that's our internal door. Now let's do the same for our toilet door also. So come here, toilet pick our points, then select objects, enter, and then okay. So now once we've created our door, let's move on to create our window. Though the ones we are still doing are for the plan. After creating the windows for the plan, then we'll come back and create the door for our elevation and the window for our elevation. So now let's move ahead. We only need to create two types of window, the 1-2 by 1-2 and the 600 for the toilet. And meanwhile, anything on the plan, any diagram you're making on the plan does not require the height. The height is only required when you want to do your elevation. So as we are looking at the plan here like this of this door here, it's only 900. The height is not being indicated. The height is not being indicated here. So because it's the plan, but once we create for the elevation, then we'll be including the height. We'll be using both the height and the width. Same goes for the window. We will only be looking at it from the plan. So definitely we'll only be needing the width, which is the length, but the height will not be indicated. We only need the length and the thickness of our wall, since our window is going to be within our wall. So now let's go ahead and create our window. Okay, our layer is still in windows and door for our 2D plan. So just the same method, let's click on this, and then let's expand it. Since we'll be using 230 for our walls, now let's put the thickness of our wall 230, comma, and our window width is 1 2, as said earlier. No, sorry, let's create that. I think 1 2 should come first. 1 2, comma 230. Enter. So this is basically our window. So it can be to your taste. You can just kind of design it to your. But let's just make a simple design. Let's draw a line here in the middle here. Let's draw a line in the middle, and then let's offset it. O for offset. Let's use 50 offset distance. 50 above. Select it, and 50 below. And then let's kind of create a small box here. Yeah, a small box of, let's say, 50 by 100. Yeah, around here. So let's first create that. Let's say 50 comma 100. Let's see how it's going to look like. This, right? Okay, now let's move it. I want to bring it from the center here to this point here. Sorry. Let's select it and then move, enter, and then move it to this point here. So let's reduce this. Let's reduce this. Let's select this also and then reduce the length. So I just kind of design a simple window. So we need it at the other end here too. Instead of us redrawing it here or recreating it here, what you can just do is select the object. That's where your mirror tool comes in. So now select your mirror tool, which is this, and then select a common midpoint between the two. Let's use this, a common midpoint between the two, and then, no, sorry, I think this should be our, since I've reduced that length, this should be our midpoint, our common midpoint here. Enter. Erase source object, no. So we are having this. So this is just a simple window for 1 2. Now let's create for our 600, which is our toilet door. So instead of us deleting the creating another one, let's just use this. Let's copy it, copy, and bring it down. So now let's edit this to give us our 600. Now what we need to do now is, this is 1 2, right? The length from here to here is 1 2. So we need to reduce it 300 by the right, 300 from the left also, to get 600, right? So now what we just need to do is select the big rectangle, click on the midpoint here and drag it. Instead of us recreating another one, we can just easily edit this. So let's give it 300, enter, select it here also, 300. But meanwhile, you have to do that in a straight line manner. So now And for you to get a straight line, look at something. Let's assume I want to draw a line. I've selected my first point. Now it's showing me this continuous. Once I give my mouse the direction, it will show me a continuous green line dot, green dotted line like that, indicating the line is straight. If I'm not having that, then my line is not straight. No matter how I draw my line, be it a vertical line or horizontal line, this is a vertical line now. It's showing this continuously to the down part, right? So it's indicating my line is straight. So anything you are doing and you see that dotted line, then you know your line is straight. So now let's measure this and see if it is 600 for our toilet windows. Yeah, 600. So now let's just move this. Let's move this inside. Let's bring it here. Same goes for this. Let's bring it. And then let's reduce this three. So this will be here. This will be here. And then this will be here. Same goes to this also. So now this our 600 millimeter window. We just easily edited this and got this.